Secret Universe. It's a game with a lot of different stuff going on, but primarily there are puzzles in this game. Now this is a game that I created, and today what I wanted to do, I wanted to go through a top 10 list of some of the coolest puzzles in this game, because I feel like most people don't really understand the true extent to which this game works. And today I just wanted to explain some of these puzzles. So, our very first secret, it is called Taking Inventory. Now, you see the Minecraft chest here. You might think, this is where we begin, right? It's the only logical place where this could possibly begin. And you would be right. Kind of. We actually need to go over here, right? We need to teleport to Secret Meetup. So, here we are. Secret Meetup, right? Now, we can find the exact same portal inside of this game, and you can see here, there are some strange symbols going on this portal. Now, these symbols, this is a symbol cipher, which you cannot find in any other game. It is specific to Secret Universe. This portal teleports you to Secret Universe, right? So if we go here, right, and we look up into the URL, we can see these numbers. This is the place ID of the game. These symbols actually correspond to this, which means we are able to decipher these symbols through the place ID of the game. Now, if we actually go and check, we are able to get this translation. Right? This is which symbol corresponds to which number. Now we can actually go back to the main game and we can go back to that chest. This chest has some of these symbols embedded on it. You can kind of see them right here. Like right here is a symbol, this right here is a symbol, this is a symbol, and then this right here is a symbol. This is a symbol, and there are more symbols on this torch right here. If we were to decode this, we would see that this says 1217. 1217. That is a version of Minecraft. And if we actually open this chest, we can see we're able to put items inside of this chest. If we decode the numbers which are on the chest, right, we will get this number right here that you can see on the screen. Now, this is the fun part. What we actually have to do is boot up Minecraft, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna boot up Minecraft real quick. So, I have booted up Minecraft 1.21.7. Because there's torches around this chest, that tells us that this is a Minecraft bonus chest. Which means that what we need to do is generate. So you can see here, I am spawning a bonus chest with the table seed that we found embedded into the chest. And inside of the chest, we can see this right here. If we go ahead and insert the exact items that were in that Minecraft chest into this chest. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, those are actually... I think I used the wrong command, but I still just have to insert the correct items. Hold on, something's wrong. There we go. So, we have obtained the Taking Inventory secret. That was a cross Minecraft and Roblox puzzle. For our number 9 secret, we are actually gonna go back to Secret Meetup. What we are gonna want to do, we're gonna open file location, we're gonna open logs, right? And then we're gonna find the specific log. I'm probably gonna blur this, but place, right? And we have connected to a place with a specific ID. Now, if we actually check what the ID of this place is, we can see it says Secret Meetup right here. That is because this is a sub-place of Secret Meetup. However, if we use this extension, right, row seal, which allows us to see the sub-places of a game, and we click on Secret Meetup, we can see here, we've got 2 different Secret Meetups going on. Now, how is that possible? How is that possible? How is this a different Secret Meetup from the one that we've got right here? To answer that question, we have to go to the Roblox documentation. We're gonna visit develop.roblox.com. If we grab the universe ID of the game, which is also shown by row seal right here, we plug it into right here, we can see that there is one subplace under the game. It is called Secret Meetup, right? Right? This is the one that we got from row seal. This is this one right here. But if we toggle is universe creation right here, we set that to true, we can see the other game has disappeared and we are left with only Secret Meetup. And this is a different Secret Meetup. So this is the one that we are in the game right now. This is the Secret Meetup, right? So the reason that this is so strange, the reason the other Secret Meetup isn't showing here is because this was created through a really convoluted method, right? And this was intentionally made to be deceiving, right? You're supposed to see this Secret Meetup, right? The fake one, that's what you're supposed to see. While the real one is hiding in plain sight. And if we click the 3 dots right here, we can see a button that says Edit Instructions studio. If we go to the other secret meetup, the fake one, there is no such button. So we can open this place, this real secret meetup in studio, right? If we want to. And we can see there is a surprising lack of anything in this game. Now, the reason for this is this script right here. If we copy the ID from inside of the script, there is a script created by the Secret Universe group. Now, this script loads this game that you are seeing right now, which is why we cannot see it right here. There is no game. If we click play, we see the loading screen, but it never loads because we don't have permission to use the script required for the game to load. Inside of the starter pack, we can see this strange thing called spawner. There is a Minecraft spawner texture right here. The strange part of this whole spawner is the size of it. You can see it is a very weird size. If we open the material service, we can see there are materials in this game, right? The materials are used for this right here, right? This is a material that we are using. Now, if we actually check the ID, it ends in 29. What else ended in 29? The size of the spawner ended in 29. All of these numbers that you are seeing right here correspond to the endings of these textures right here. If we decode all of these, we can get this code: weld, universal, inlet, glue, smooth studs. So these are all surface types. If we go back to studio, right, and we check the spawner again, we can see that the surface is different for each side of the spawner. So if we check what they correspond to, we can see weld corresponds to the top, right? Weld, top. Universal corresponds to bottom. And if we check all of those, we now get that weld corresponds to top, universal corresponds to bottom, inlet, right. Contained within the spawn of the game are all of these surface types. Okay, so if we click the top surface of weld right here, the bottom surface of universal.
3 hours later.
And we click the front face of studs, right? There we go. We get stud reviewer. That was very fucking complicated, but that was just number 9. Now we can move on to number 8. We have to actually come back here. What we need to do. So I've made a whole video on this before, right? If a game allows you to edit it in studio right here, you are also able to download any version of that game that has ever existed. So if we use rowseal to check which version of Secret Meetup is currently active, we can see it is version 2, which implies there is a version 1. To download this version 1, we have to use a special link, and we download version 1. We open the first ever version of Secret Meetup. Okay, seemingly it's just an empty baseplate. There's absolutely nothing happening. However, Roblox has this thing known as tags. We open the tags, and we see QL95271530. QL. What could QL possibly mean? It's a little bit hard to figure out. But what QL means is graphics quality, right? Quality level. That's what it stands for. So we click it in order. So we click 9, 5,
3 hours later.
10. And we get Historian. So that is pretty crazy, isn't it? We found the first version of Secret Meetup. It seemed to be an empty baseplate, but we found a tag and we were able to get Historian. We can move on to the number 7 secret, which is called Oracle Attack. Okay, that is the next secret that we are going to be talking about. If we actually Google what an Oracle Attack is, we can see it's an attack that exploits the availability of a weakness in a system, blah, 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 blah. Okay, it's something to do with like the internals of the game, basically. Like we're kind of like some cybersecurity, cyber engineering, whatever. We can open the console. You probably know what the console is. We go to the memory. So this thing that we're seeing right now shows us how much memory everything in the game is using, okay? What we're specifically interested in right here. Prop user thread humanoid scroller. This is the name of a script in the game. If we actually look at how normal scripts behave, right? They're kind of flat. They're kind of flat. Or they're weird like this. They're kind of bumpy like this. Prop user thread humanoid scroller. You can see it's going up and down. They don't usually go up and down exactly like this, right? This is not normal in any way. And that is because what this is a very slowly generated version of Morse code. You can see there's a long gap, there's a short gap, right? There's a dot and there will be a dash here in a little bit. If we actually decode this Morse code, this full Morse code that we're seeing here, we will get this. Okay, we've got a Morse code translator. And if we translate it, we get carboxyles, okay? Where we are able to input this is right here. So let's spell it out, okay? C-A...
3 hours later.
Z. And when I step on this, I'm gonna get Oracle attack. There we go. We have obtained the Oracle attack secret. We found the code in memory. We decoded Morse code and we inputted it over there and we got Oracle attack, okay? The number 6 secret is called Event Horizon. To get this one, we have to understand a couple of things. Something that is used for other secrets in this game is this right here, okay? Whenever we open the escape menu of the game, you can see a black chair appears. We are able to sit down on this chair. However, we can't really do anything. What if we make someone else sit on the chair? And who better? Okay, the chair appears when we open the escape menu, and this guy follows us whenever we open the escape menu. So, if we make the connection, right, we make him follow us all the way to the chair. Sit on the chair. Come on. Okay, there we go. He sat down on the chair, right? And now he starts saying, oh man, not again, okay? And he disappears. And we get the recluse secret. That's not the one that I was trying to talk about. It's crucial that we know how recluse works if we're gonna get Event Horizon, okay? When Evil Keith sat down on the chair, he got teleported away. Why did he get teleported away? Why does nothing happen when we sit down on the chair? And why does Evil Keith get teleported when he sits down on the chair? We may be able to deduce that the reason for this is because of the colors of his body. So we can kind of try to copy the colors of his body, right? So let me minimize this. So now I have got Evil Keith's body colors, right? If I go and sit down on the chair, what will happen? There we go. So because we sat down with his body colors, we get teleported to where he was teleported, which is dimension 1. So now we have unlocked this secret dimension from the chair. If we fly up here, we're able to notice that this is Secret Meetup. This is the subplace from earlier. When we teleport to Secret Meetup, we can see this pop-up right here. Now this pop-up, strangely enough, seems to have different color words. So let's take a screenshot. We use the eyedropper tool to check what the color of this miscolored word is. And if we check the hex value, we can see this is the hex value, okay? If we go back to dimension 1, basically in this game, you can check what song is playing by hovering over this icon right here. That should remind you of something, okay? It is the exact color of this, right? The song name is the exact hex color of that word, of that miscolored word. Every single song that plays on Roblox has to be uploaded to Roblox, right? If we go back to the console and we go back to the memory and we are able to look at sounds, this shows us every single song which we have heard in the game so far. Okay, so if we actually check all of the songs playing in the game, right? So this is the correct one right here. This is the ID that we need. Okay, we're gonna use the same thing that we used for Stud Reviewer. Type in the ID right here. We have found the correct song, right? In the description are some coordinates. So let's copy these coordinates. If we actually go to Secret Meetup, okay, we're going to Secret Meetup again. Would you look at that? Because we were in dimension 1 when we teleported, we are now at the exact location that we were, but in a Secret Meetup, right? This is Secret Meetup. This is the subplace. This is not the main game anymore. We are in a subplace, but we are outside the map. Inside Secret Meetup, we are able to click Shift F3, okay? That opens this menu right here. Shift 1, Shift 1, Shift 1, Shift 1. You can see here, player replication focus, right? These are essentially Minecraft coordinates, except they are in Roblox. You can see these right here, okay? We want to find the exact coordinates, these coordinates right here. So let's go to those coordinates, okay? Somewhere around here, okay, are the coordinates. We're pretty close. What we need to do, okay, we need to go back to dimension 1. So we're gonna leave Secret Meetup. So here we go, 148, 949, negative 85. Okay, we're basically there. We teleport to Secret Meetup. And let's see what happens. Boom. Okay, We are in a black void. Now, the reason for this is because whenever you spawn inside of a brick in Roblox, you are teleported to the top of the brick, right? Like when you spawn inside of it. At these specific coordinates inside of Secret Meetup, there was a brick which was there when we spawned, and then it gets deleted quickly after. But because that brick was there when we spawned, it put us on top of that brick at those coordinates, and now we are outside of the map. So the last step that we need to do for Event Horizon is actually just fall into the void. There we go. We have fallen into the void, and we get teleported back. We have obtained Event Horizon. So we used cross-dimensional logic to obtain this secret. Our number 5 placed secret is called Meet the Owner. To start Meet the Owner, to start this secret, we need to find this item in our inventory. Let me reset real quick, okay? I'm gonna reset my character, and I'm gonna open my inventory. And, oddly enough, there is a secret item inside my inventory already, and it's called, if we actually check the tooltip, it's called Strange Orb, right? That is the name of this weird, item. The way this works, okay? Let me reset again, and I'm gonna show you. Okay, so our inventory disappeared for a split second there. You saw that, we didn't have any items for a split second. What actually happens in that split second? There are 5 items added to our inventory, okay? And then this item is added to our inventory, right? Which pushes it into our backpack. Instead of it being in our toolbar, it is in our backpack, right? And then all those items that were there are deleted, right? They were temporary items. They were used to push this item into the backpack. And what does it do? It doesn't do anything. Normally when you hold the tool, you can see it. You can't see anything, right? There's nothing. So, what this orb actually does, when we equip the orb, the portal turns gray. Unequip it, turns purple, right? If we go into the portal while it's gray, we are brought to this weird looking room. We currently can't do anything in this room. If we try to touch this door, we get kicked from the game, okay? We can't enter that door right now. What we have to do, this is a really strange thing, okay? But whenever we join the game, right? I told you about how those tools spawn and they get pushed. One of the temporary tools, the one which is in the 0 slot, has a tooltip, right? So you can see linked sword, subspace strip mine, tooltip, right? When I hover over the 0 slot, something appears. The other slots don't have that. This slot has like a gray thing which appears. But this tooltip, it looks empty, right? And it is empty. Unless we stretch our screen out to the maximum possible length that it can have. Okay, so this is the max possible length. Now we hover over it. And do you see that? There are numbers on the screen which we couldn't see before, right? Because they were obscured by our aspect ratio, but now we can see them. So our numbers are 99430, right? What could these numbers possibly mean? You might think these numbers, they're too low to be a user ID or like a game ID. That's where you're wrong, okay? If we put them as a place ID, we can see that they lead to my place, okay? And this is a 2007 game. I was actually born after this game was made. I'm not gonna get into the logistics of how that happened, okay? But the point is, we need to actually go back to the Roblox documentation. We are going to go to universes. Okay, now what this shows us is every single language that this game has been translated into. It has been translated into one language, and that is Bengali. You can see the language code is BN, that is Bengali, and that gives us this translation, okay? Okay, so I have set my language to Bengali on my Roblox website, right? And you can see, it's actually right here. What is this code? Well, we can see that it is 11 characters long. If we count the characters, 11 characters. Now there's only one URL, which is 11 characters long. A YouTube video. If we go to any YouTube video and we plug this ID in, nothing. This video isn't available. That's weird. How does that make any sense, right? I thought this was gonna be a YouTube video URL. It's 11 characters long. It is a YouTube video URL. Except we need a key. The Roblox backpack, right? It has a search engine. So if we actually check, we put 2 items in here, right? We've got the subspace strip mine, we've got the linked sword, and we type L. You can see the subspace strip mine has disappeared. We type S, the linked sword has disappeared. But if we type linked sword, there it is, right there, okay? We can figure out in this way that this is called a linked sword, right? If we put the strange orb in there and we search strange orb, it doesn't appear. So the strange orb is not called strange orb. That's not what the name is. Now we can brute force our way and figure out what the name of the strange orb is. So A. It doesn't start with A, okay? B. It starts with B. Okay, now I'm just gonna save you some time. The full name of the orb is BNVGKey. VGKey. What does that mean? VGKey. Vigi. Visioneer cipher. The Visioneer cipher is a cipher which has a key. We put the key as BNVGKey, okay? And we put the ciphertext as that YouTube URL from earlier, okay? And we get this. Now, if we plug this into a YouTube video, we get a video called sound/wordsy.wave. Now, if we actually check what this video is,
chair, computer, phone, sky, tree.
A bunch of words, a bunch of meaningless words. Why is this called sound/wordsy.wave? Why is that the name? We need to go back into our Roblox files, okay? And we click sounds. Okay, now I am going to use YTDLP in order to download this video, the wordsy.wave video, as a wave file, okay? There we go. I have downloaded the video as a wave file. So I'm gonna drag this in here. I'm gonna rename it to wordsy.wave. We're gonna go into the portal, right? We have to equip the strange orb in order to enter this portal. We make it gray and we enter. And we can see there is a new room here with a radio which is playing our sound file. So the game has detected that we have put this sound in our files and it has opened the door. However, if we actually listen in,
Push, portal, I, laser, salmon, ice, push.
What that radio has done, instead of playing the full wordsy.wave file, it has only played specific parts of that sound. And what it has said via that file is salmon, ice, push, portal, eye, laser. So what these words actually mean, it's a little complicated, but if you play the game enough, you can figure it out. We're gonna need a couple more secrets if we're gonna wanna do this. I'm not gonna bother explaining these secrets. I'm just gonna give them to myself. Yeah, I gave myself the ultraviolet secret. Okay, so I have all the secrets required now. Let's dissect this message, right? Salmon, ice, push, portal, eye, laser. From the ultraviolet secret, we get this structure which lets us change how the base plate looks to anything we want, right? So we can change it. Where's salmon? Here, okay? Salmon, ice. So the ice material, where is that one? Ice. Salmon, ice, push, portal. How are we going to do that? By using bombs. That's how we're gonna push it. That's the easiest way to do it. Right, you can see that. That's how you unanchor the portal. I've kind of fallen off the map here, but oh, slippery slope. I guess I got another secret. Okay, so now I have pushed the portal, the last part of this clue. Eye, laser. If we actually look in the game, right, there are these two eyes in the game, okay? You might recognize them because they are actually Roblox hats. You can wear these on your head. You can wear these eyeballs on your head. We grab the asset ID of this hat, right? And then we go over here to a structure unlocked from this secret called Titan Attack, right? Titan Attack unlocks this right here. We can put any Roblox hat that we want onto the statue over here. Boom. There we go. And now it's shooting lasers at us, okay? So now you understand what that eye laser thing means. The last thing we need to do, okay, the reason that we pushed the portal over here is so that the eye laser can go through here and shoot the inside of the portal. So here we go. I'm gonna make the portal gray. Okay, come on, let's shoot this. There we go. Okay, you heard that explosion sound, right? That means it has worked correctly. Now we can go in here. As you can see, the door has been blown to bits, okay? We are able to get some dialogue, and I'm gonna be quiet here, okay? Because there's actually voice lines in the game that I recorded.
Oh, hey, how's it going? Huh. Yeah, it seems like you can't progress any further right now. Yeah, you're just not worthy. Well, I guess I can't help you. Sorry.
There we go. So that message basically means that we do not have the correct secrets required to obtain Meet the Owner right now. The secrets that we are going to need, identity fraud. Okay, we need identity fraud, quid pro quo. Now we've got both the secrets that are required. And now the dialogue in this room is gonna be different. So let's listen to this.
Good job on finding me. That was a pretty elaborate puzzle back there. So what you have to do is... Oh, well, I'm sure you'll figure it out. You already got this far, so...
This part of the puzzle is kinda advanced. You really need a lot of ball knowledge, but there is this software called Blocks Dump, right? What this does, it grabs the files from within your Roblox game, it kind of decrypts them, you know, and then creates them as files, okay? So if we use Blocks Dump on the dialogue that just played, okay? Remember, everything you hear on Roblox has to be a sound uploaded to the platform. If we get the sound file of that dialogue that just played, we are gonna be able to find a secret in there, okay? So I'm gonna do that real quick. Once you retrieve the file for this dialogue from Blocks Dump, I'm just gonna play it and you're gonna hear something. Immediately you're gonna hear something.
Oh, hey, how's it going? Good job on finding me.
It's playing in only one ear, right? The dialogue is playing in one ear, but not in the other. Let's load it in a better piece of software. So we're gonna load this file in Audacity. As you can see, it's playing in only one ear, right? This is the left ear and this is the right ear. There's nothing in the right ear, seemingly. So I have amplified the audio. I'm not gonna play it because it would be very loud. But as we can see, there is actually audio playing in the right ear. It's actually using a frequency which humans are not able to hear, right? Like this audio is of a frequency that maybe dogs would hear, but humans do not hear the frequency at which this audio is playing in the right ear. If this reminds you of anything, because it should, this is Morse code, right? This right here, this is Morse code. If we actually decode the Morse code, right? I'm not sure if this is 100% correct, but I'm pretty sure this is essentially what it says, right? Click all void orbs with strange orb equipped. What are the void orbs? Well, if you remember, we had to get the quid pro quo secret earlier to unlock that bit of dialogue, right? So we have quid pro quo. The structure for quid pro quo is called void path. The void path has orbs on it. If we do as it says and we click all void orbs with the strange orb equipped, so we equip the strange orb and then we click these.
3 hours later.
There we go. So it says void orb success, right? Once we've clicked all of them. And now it's literally just complete RNG, okay? We have to find this through complete luck. But the other secret that we needed to get to unlock Meet the Owner is identity fraud, right? Identity fraud unlocks this structure right here. And now we've got a chance for something to spawn. So I'm just gonna keep clicking this until I get the correct game.
3 hours later.
There we go. Okay, secret meetup. Now, if you remember, right, secret meetup, there are two different secret meetups, okay? The one which we can play through the purple portal, and the one which we can't play, which is supposedly just a decoy, just a fake. If we go through this portal, we're gonna end up in the real secret meetup that is listed here with Roseal. So let's go there. Here we go. And there is a house here. Past this point, it's very, very simple. I don't feel the need to explain the rest of the puzzle after this one. There's another bit of dialogue here. We really don't need to hear it, okay? It's kind of long. What the dialogue tells us to do is to click this button right here. When we click this button, we get the Meet the Owner secret, which is one of the hardest ones in the game. That's why that explanation was so long. But now, we are going to move on to our number 4 placed secret, which is called Straight and Narrow. So we're gonna get this secret right here. We're gonna get this secret. This one is mostly unrelated to everything that we've been doing. So we need to get another secret for this one. And this is a very simple secret. So let's just get a quick secret here. Boom. We launch that guy into the void and we get a secret. This secret unlocks a structure, which is this structure right here, which is like a ship that can move. Naturally, straight and narrow requires you to press these arrows in a very specific order. What is the order? Well, I'll tell you what the order is. The easiest way for me to show you this order is by going into my movement settings and activating, right, movement mode, click to move, and you can see there is an invisible path. This invisible path goes in a couple directions, okay? You can see it goes up, left, down, left.
3 hours later.
So that is the order in which the path goes, okay? We go up, we go left.
3 hours later.
Go up. And there we go, we've got the straight and narrow secret. Okay, that's a quick and easy one. Now, the number 3 secret that I would like to explain is called Superstar. This one is very interesting because inside of the game, right, is this kind of badger structure, right? Like for one of these secrets, for the secret called Taskmaster, you were supposed to get all of these badges that are listed here, right? Like there's a couple badges here and you can teleport to their respective games if you want. But basically, these two things look similar, right? Like this is the exact same shape. The cook badge and the superstar icon look the same. They have the same shape. Cook is actually a work at a pizza place badge. Yeah, so you can actually see. Cook, right? It's a work at a pizza place badge. Now, we can go here. We can go to understand what we need to do for Superstar. We need to look at its predecessor, which is called Star, okay? Star, the Star secret, is obtained for favoriting the game, right? You favorite the game and you get this Star secret. So, naturally, Superstar also has something to do with favoriting, right? What if we favorite this badge? However, you might notice there isn't an icon that would let us favorite, right? On a game, we can favorite it, right? We can click favorite, and we can click unfavorite easy. On a badge, we cannot favorite a badge, easily at least. Now, what we're gonna have to do, we're gonna have to go back to the Roblox documentation again. Here we go, the avatar editor service, right? Prompt set favorite. I'm gonna open a different game. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna prompt set favorite. I'm gonna prompt myself to favorite this badge by using this method right here. I'm gonna fire this command. And there we go. Do you want to add cook to favorites? And I'm gonna click that yes, I do want to do that. You're not supposed to be able to favorite badges, but you can do it through that method. And because I've done that, okay, there we go. So I am able to get Superstar because I favorited the badge, right? You're not supposed to be able to favorite badges, but we just did it. And we got a secret for it. The number 2 secret is called Cognitohazard, okay? This is the number 2 secret that I want to tell you about. Now, the fun part about the secret is that it has been staring you in the face the entire video in the form of these coins. Interesting, right? That is very interesting. Now, if you remember, the same method we used for Event Horizon, accessing the page of that sound file, we are able to do the same with this coin right here. And this coin is everywhere across the game. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go into graphics mesh parts, right? One of these IDs right here is gonna be the coin. Okay, so we have found the mesh, right? This is the coin mesh, you can see in the thumbnail here. What we are going to do, we're gonna download this mesh, okay? We're gonna download it. Now what we're going to do is open Blender. Bear with me here, okay? We're gonna open Blender, okay? We're gonna import OBJ, import the OBJ. We're gonna delete this cube, okay? And now the coin. We have the coin mesh in Blender now. We're gonna want to select this coin. We're gonna go into UV editing. And as you can see, inside of the UV map of this mesh is a QR code. Now this took people months to find, okay? Nobody fought to check this. Here we go. Okay, so we've got a QR code here, right? That has been hiding inside every single one of the coins in this game. So if we actually go and scan this QR code, we are gonna obtain this here message. Atop the tree of death, summon the subject. Now, what does this mean? The tree of death, what is that? Well, right here, the tree of death is a structure obtained from Dance Macabre. Now, the way you get Dance Macabre is die while dancing, which is why this is the Tree of Death. Now, the question is, what is the subject? To understand who the subject is, okay, what we have to do, we need to check the linked structure of Cognitohazard, right? So it's called Swinburne's Chair. Swinburne is a Roblox account. It's like a 2007 Roblox account, okay? Here where the world is quiet, we can't join this game anymore. However, what we can do is actually edit this game in Studio. Okay, so let's edit it in Studio. Okay, what this game is, if you don't know, inside of this here game, right? Back in 2007, 2008, whatever, you used to be able to obtain this item, the Void Star, right? This was an event created by Shedletsky, and it was hosted on the Swinburne account inside of this game. Now, to obtain the Void Star, what you had to do inside of here is a script called 1. We can actually read what the message that people who completed this puzzle made by Shedletsky were. So it says, good job, last step. Send a message to Swinburne. The subject should be Algernon. The subject, right? Send a message to Swinburne. If we follow the instructions atop the tree of death, so let's go on top of the tree, how do we summon the subject? Well, there is trading in this game. We are able to send trade requests to people. If we send a trade request to Algernon... There we go. Okay, and we have lost connection to the game. Not actually, but we have. And then Swinburne appears, and he says some stuff. Swinburne's dimension unlocked, and you get Cognitohazard. This is one of the coolest secrets in the game, I think, right? Like, from the QR code to the reference to the 2008 puzzle. What that unlocks for us. Here we go. Okay, and as you can see, we have unlocked Swinburne's dimension in Secret Universe. Now, the number one secret, the number one hardest secret in the game, unsolved for months and months. This puzzle has been seen by hundreds of thousands of people, and not one of them has been able to solve it. It is called Puthing Around. It's a difficulty 1000 secret. It's the hardest one in the game. Nobody has solved it in the history of the game. And the game has 12 million visits that the game has. Not one person has been able to solve this. But today, I am gonna tell you exactly how to solve this puzzle. So the way to solve Puthing Around is actually pretty simple. All you have to do is just use the eternity code from Artemis Fowl on the crossword.
Connection terminated.